Hi, good morning, everyone. It's not morning, it's 5 p.m. on a Monday, but good morning to you at the time that you're probably watching this. It is, like I said, Monday. It is the 12th, something like that. It's Monday the 12th, and I'm just gonna sort of like set my goals for this week now. I am at 6,000-ish words of the, not like draft 2, but like, oh my god, okay, wait, hang on. Let me explain all this first before I tell you what my goals are for this week, because it won't make sense otherwise. So my first draft of this novel, of this project, The Rope Salesman, is basically just like scenes that I thought were cool and like vibes that I liked, and like I put music, I put like links to specific songs that I wanted to like, and feelings I wanted to capture in my draft, because I'm a crazy person and a mixed media kid at heart. And I need to go through and make that into an actual draft of a novella, of like a project. So I started that last week. My goal this week is to hit, I think maybe 8,000 or 9,000, give or take. Maybe 10,000. Maybe that'll be like my pie in the sky goal. My real goal is to hit 8,000. I would love to hit 10,000 just because I love to hit an even number, but I think 8,000 is about where like the first act-ish is. So I think that's where that first act mark will fall. So I think it'll be best if I just try and get through a few more scenes to hit that 8,000 mark. Sorry, I had to get up and supervise dinner time for my cats, because one of them doesn't eat unless I'm watching. He needs an audience in order to feel comfy eating, which I think is very cute. So I'm at, give or take 6,000 on that draft right now, and so I want to hit 8,000. I would love to hit 10,000, but I think my priority is finishing Act 1. The other thing I need to do this week is a author friend of mine has sent me the second act of her novel, so I need to reread the first act of her novel and then read the second act. I'm excited about that one. It's like a YA novel, it's like a dark YA novel, but it's like fantasy YA, so it's not a genre I usually read, because if I do read fantasy, I feel like I'm reading adult fantasy. I'm not usually like a YA girly. Those are my two big things for this week. I know next week I'm gonna have a busy week running writing group stuff, and then we are going to the other people who run this writing group and I are gonna go out for dinner, celebrate our first workshop going successfully. Then we're gonna do some planning for next workshop series, if we're gonna do it the same way, if we're gonna do a smaller group, something along those lines. We're gonna like hash all that shit out, because we got some feedback from that. So like next week should be busy, which is why I'm trying to finish up Act 1 of Rope Salesman this week, so that I don't feel bad about not making a ton of progress next week, if that makes sense. Because I know I'm gonna be busy next week. I know especially like Sunday is gonna be very busy for me trying to figure out what we're doing with workshop, and then also we need to start planning for November, which is going to be a whole thing in and of itself. So, oh gosh, let's get some writing done, shall we? I need to write just a little bit. I want to try and finish the scene that I'm working on, and then I'm probably going to call it a pretty early night as far as writing goes, just because I haven't had time to like relax and watch TV all weekend, and just like to not think for a little bit. I feel like I need that so bad. I'm gonna take my very sticker-covered laptop, and we're gonna do some little typing. Do you guys want, like, typing ASMR? Is that something that, like, you guys are into? I don't have, like, a fancy keyboard right now. I just have my, like, Dell keyboard. Hang on, let's see, do you guys want some, like, typing ASMR? Alrighty, hi, good morning. It is Tuesday, what day is it? Tuesday the 13th, 14th? It's Tuesday, August, whatever. It's so early, it's like 6:20, 6:30 in the morning, and I'm up early to write. I just took a shower to like wake myself up a little bit, and now I sort of look like the wet cat a little bit. I haven't even started writing today. However, the thing is that like when I don't know how to finish out this scene. I don't know how, I'm struggling with how like, not gory, but like goopy and weird I want to make this scene. Because like the creature I'm describing is very goopy and weird, but the character whose eyes I'm describing it through is like, this is normal. This is like a normal Saturday night for me. This is normal, babes. And everybody else around them is like, this is fucked up. That's sort of my current struggle. And I'm hoping just by writing at like 6:30 in the morning, I can just like go and not worry about how goopy and weird it is. Because if I get too caught up in worrying about how goopy and weird it is, then like I'm too caught up in worrying about how goopy and weird it is. You know what I mean? Alrighty, I'm gonna go get started on the goopy weirdness. And hope that I can make it the right amount of goopy and weird. And if I don't, then that's fine, because it's a first draft, and I need to stop being a perfectionist about it. I just need to shut up and write it. So let's shut up and write it, shall we? I don't know what my hair is doing there. Good morning! It's not morning at all, actually. It's like 6 p.m. on Wednesday, August 14th. And I'm just about getting ready to run my writing group's weekly virtual write-in. They're right there? They're over there. They're on Discord over there. I thought it'd be fun to do a theme for tonight. The theme for tonight's write-in is Law and Order, not the television show. Specifically, the prompt was to think more deeply about the laws in your fantasy setting. Laws in your setting, laws in your fantasy setting, in any type of setting, right? Think of the laws, think of who makes the laws, who enforces the laws, and what your characters feel about those two groups. Because those often, I feel like, are really interesting relationships that I don't know if people get into them enough. Obviously, like, everybody hates cops, sure, but like, how do your characters, like, who makes the laws in your setting? Right? Who's your Congress? Is it like a city council that makes laws? Do they vote on laws? Do people know that they are voting on laws? Do, like, city council members, like, do they lie when they make laws? Are your laws something that just come down as, like, edicts from a king? You know? It's interesting to think about, even if you're writing in a modern, like, contemporary setting. Either you're a few steps off from, you know, a true real life setting, you're operating something just slightly different than normal, or if you're like doing a fantasy setting from scratch. I feel like those are things that oftentimes get overlooked. So that's your prompt for this video. Think about laws, think about the structures of law and order. How does the group keep order? How do they keep laws from being broken? How do they deter criminals? That sort of thing. Just something to think about. Always fun to have a little something to think about. Sir, will you help me write? Sir, will you help me write?
morning. It is Friday, August 16th. It's Friday, August 16th. And I am up early. I already did my writing for this morning. I got 400 some odd words done. I've changed a few key people's personalities, so now I have to go through and like fix those because they don't make a ton of sense, which is a little bit of a pain, but alas, we persevere. I am running to the DMV this morning. Very exciting stuff. But I did bring along a book to read because I hate being on my phone in the DMV because I feel like I'm gonna get a bad grade at being in the DMV, which is normal, right? Everybody feels that. I have a really nice, like my dad got me these like hardcover versions of Sherlock Holmes. So I'm gonna start reading The Hound of the Baskervilles today while waiting in line at the DMV. Again, very exciting stuff on the schedule for me today. I also might, depending on how quickly I get my real job work done, might go work at a coffee shop a little bit later today or a restaurant or something of that nature. Actually, I can't because my favorite coffee shop is having a sea shanty sing-along today. Never mind, maybe I won't go work at a coffee shop today. Okay, so I got the cats copy and paste. I call them the gamers. I got them some new toys. So I got them like a little beach ball, some little like, this was like little like, it was a back to school set. I just thought it was like cute. And then this is a little firework. So let's just see. They haven't had like a catnip toy in a while. So we're gonna see how they act. Ooh, he's ballin'. Ladies and gentlemen, he's ballin'. Picking up the case. Ooh. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, they are fucking ballin', dude. Oh. Oh, you're so vicious and strong. If he tears this thing open literally immediately, I'm very much gonna laugh. Oh. I think catnip toy's a big hit. I think. This is what you'll really like. A little kicker. It's so that they can let out their little like cuteness aggression. Are you gonna give up the ball, sir? Hey, if I give you this. Ooh, I'm sorry. Hi, I forgot to record a voiceover for this part earlier, so we're doing it now. This is Joni and Natalie, and they're the other two co-organizers of my writing group, Kanma Raiko. And what we're doing here is we are going through the exit survey for our recent workshop series. So during the month of July, we ran a workshop series. It was a 5,000 word limit, 12 people participating in it. So here we're just going through the exit surveys. We're going through every question to figure out what people liked, what they didn't like, some ideas for what we're gonna do different next time. You're just gonna see a whole lot. You're just gonna see like a little, this is a time lapse. We were here for literally 3 hours, and then we went and we got dinner, and then we came back and we started planning for November, because that is, you know, NaNoWriMo.
Okay, this is interesting. Several people said this. They wanted for the authors to be able to pose a couple of questions that I then pose to the group. And that's interesting that they say that because that actually is a variation on the Iowa style workshop. Like I have done workshops in the past where like when they submit like the thing that has the link and that has like the content warnings, there's a place for them to like say like, hey, can you make sure the group like really talks about like the ending? Can you make sure that the group talks about the dynamic between these two characters? And then as the workshop leader, you can bring that up and be like, what do we think about this dynamic? To make sure that we're not like spending a ton of time on something that the author is not going to find helpful. So like when I was going to go down my rabbit hole of how Joni's two main characters were actually the same person, and that's why their names kept switching, because they were like two like personalities of one human.
Of the same coin,
that wouldn't have been helpful because that was not the intention. So I think
that's my favorite conspiracy theory about monsters and men, I think.
I can definitely see us having that in the future, especially if we have a little bit more time to discuss. I would totally do this again.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, we have to do this again.
We simply must.
The people are clamoring for it.
at this point it feels, and I know it's still like mid-August, but like I feel like we are hurtling towards November.
Oh,
we are. We
so
are.
quickly. Which is our next order of business, but
I don't
do you want
necessarily.
to maybe like a January or February?
I think like a nice like early in the year.
Yeah, I
like,
think that's
winter
perfect. And I mean, like right
workshop.
after people, I mean, if people submit 5,000 words from their nano novels, we will have some rough fucking reading.
Yeah.
I'll be like, you have until February to
Yeah.
make this shit good.
Yeah. Bring us in. You know, you write in November, you edit a little bit in January, and then we'll workshop in I think February is a great time.
I think February would be good because it doesn't have a ton of like. I feel like January people
Yeah.
are still coming home from Christmas.
Yes.
Still sort of getting their lives together.
Yeah.
Right. February is like, okay, now you know.
We're serious.
You made a New Year's resolution to make your writing better. Here's your chance.
Yep.
February workshop.
And in it, you know, now that we will be doing NaNoWriMo has always done the What Now month, so like it's very natural to go into like now we put like how do you make this better? So like we could do and we could come up with like editing guidance in January to do and put on socials and like
Sort of like a fun little, like our reminder for 2025 is like, hey, we have these workshops, but also just like edit your shit. Here's like some things to think about. Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
plus February does have 4 Sundays.
oh hell
So
yeah.
exact 4 Sundays again.
Okay.
Let's go.
That's a good time to do it. It is open from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Sunday.
Wow.
So slightly more time.
Yeah. And
a lot more time.
We wouldn't have a round table, but we could set up a round table.
We could.
Right.
We would not have a round table, but we could have a round table.
For
I
sure.
like that you keep looking at the camera when you say cool lines.
Like you're in the office and someone says some bullshit, you're just like,
And
Really?
I repeated it as well to make sure we got the best.
The best audio? Yeah, good job. I'll include that bit just for you.
Writers, we have once again encountered that day, a Monday. It's Monday again. It's Monday for some reason. Again, we've decided to do it again. It's super nice outside though, so I was like, well, let me try and get a little bit of work done while, you know, it's nice out. I didn't even change out of my, like, work get up. I didn't even take off my damn shoes. Because I was like, if I take off my shoes, then I'm gonna get out of work mode, and I need to be in work mode. There is one problem I need to solve in this draft today, and I will be delighted if I can solve it. I don't even care about the word count right now. I will just genuinely be delighted if I can solve this problem. Because when I was originally thinking about this piece, I was thinking that one of the characters who is supernatural would have the ability to go inside of a mirror once something happened to her. And I like that idea of you being able to only interact with the world, you know, through a very specific, like, object, right? Through a mirror. Seems like fun to me. But now I have the problem where another character is writing a letter to this character, and I don't know if they should write it mirrored or if they should write it normal so that it appears mirrored when it goes, like do they need to write it mirrored so that when the person is looking at them through the mirror it shows up as normal, or do I need to write it normal so that it gets mirrored in the mirror and then they, like, that is normal to the person within the mirror? Does that make sense? Is any of that anything? Do you, like, get what I mean here? Like, if I write it mirrored, then it's gonna look normal when you are looking, if you're holding up a piece of paper to the mirror and you've written something on it in mirrored, then it's gonna look normal to you when you are looking at the mirror, right? When it's reflected back to you, it'll look normal. But if you write it mirrored, then it will look normal when it's reflected back to you. But is the act of it being reflected, do I need to account for that? Or is all of this magic and doesn't matter anyway? These are the questions I have. I really have been thinking about this. I think literally I'm gonna have to just, like, write something out mirrored and then, like, go into my bathroom and, like, look and try and puzzle it out in my head. Because if the letter is mirrored, then that means that our detective doesn't know how to read it, or he won't read it until he buckets until he sees it. Do you know what I mean here? Like, this is the one problem. This is the one problem I need to solve today. The singular issue. So it's 5 p.m. exactly on the dot, and I'm gonna just like write for 20 minutes, and then we'll see. And then we'll see if I can actually solve this problem.